Hey guys, Moose here. Welcome back to another episode of Life is Feudal Forest Village. Sorry I missed Friday's episode, but there's a good reason, which I'll get to in a minute. Apparently the issue is kind of potentially with orchards, so I'm actually gonna make this easy for everyone. Get rid of them, right? Couldn't be easier. Let's get 5 people working on it. Maybe they'll get it done, maybe they won't. I don't really care. We'll see what they can do. Hopefully, just queuing them up for demolishment. Or demolition, rather. Is demolishment a word? I don't know, and I'm too tired to figure it out. Demolition. Let's go with demolition. Hopefully, demolishing them will solve the problem, but I don't know. I'm not entirely convinced. We'll see. If that is how it works, that's a fantastic comment that I got. So I don't recall the name to shout you out, I apologize for that, but I do know that a very helpful commenter recommended that, so hopefully that works. I haven't really had much time to troubleshoot. Like I said, that's why we didn't have a Friday episode, and I'm completely gassed right now recording this. Basically this week, well, okay, so last week I was dealing with some medical stuff, and that was exhausting in its own right. That's done now. I don't have to worry about it anymore, and that's a lot of stress off my shoulders, but I went from that to the next week where there's a lot of stress at work because we have a lot of last-minute deliveries and things where we're kind of hand-to-mouth, and I need to stay on top of things and get things done very quickly as soon as the parts come in. And on top of that, there's some businesses do something called an offsite sometimes, where you take an entire department or more than an entire department, like a couple departments, and you take them out somewhere to sometimes it's a fun thing, but more often in my experience it's more just, hey, we got a conference room, you're all gonna sit and waste 2 days listening to us talk about shit you already know about. And that's more what this was. Pretty much a waste of my time, for the most part. There are a few things that I learned that were good to know, like about the company and what was going on. But I didn't really need to know any of them. None of them really changed my ability to do my job or my life at all. So it was just kind of like, hey, you know, you're already behind because you've been dealing with this medical shit. Now we're gonna take you out of commission for 2 days. And the nature of my job is such that it's daily tasks. It's not the kind of thing that you just, you know, you do occasionally. Like, I need to be doing it consistently. Every single day I have to do my job, otherwise there's no material. So it's not really an option to just disappear for 2 days. So what wound up happening, and what happened the last time they did this too, which is, you know, I complained to my boss about this, but he doesn't care, because they don't, genuinely, I think they don't really understand what our role is, what our job is. Which is infuriating, but also not very surprising. That's a bad idea, I should take people off there. Do more builders. I'm okay moving that. I really just want this stuff to get demolished so that it's not an issue, if it even is an issue. I don't know how this works. Like I said, this may have solved the problem. We shall see. But yeah, so, you know, 2 days out of commission, and like I said, because the work doesn't just disappear, I still had to do all the work. So basically, I woke up at 6, got ready, went out to this event, started at 8 AM, and then stayed at that event, unable to go anywhere, for 9 hours until 5 PM, with provided food. And the first day they cut our lunch in half. They didn't give us the full hour that they were supposed to. They said, no, you know what, we're running behind, so you only get half an hour to eat. So I couldn't go out anywhere to pick up food, and I couldn't, you know, I didn't really enjoy the food they had. And the second day was even worse, but at least we got the full hour to kind of relax and decompress from this 9-hour slog through bullshit. And then the day that I'm back, actually in the office at my desk working, which is where I need to be to get my work done, which was today, Friday, this there's this major project going on that we're working on, and this woman is leading it, and she's whatever. I don't really have a problem with her, except for the fact that she calls like endless meetings. She called 4 hours of meetings with me today, and I'm just like, listen, fucker, like this is... I'm 2 days behind. I've been working my ass off just trying to stay on top of things. You know, I basically worked 2 shifts for half the week, and you're gonna waste half of my workday on meetings? I don't have that luxury. Like, I need to be productive. I can't just not do my work for 4 hours out of the day. It doesn't work that way. So I skipped one of her meetings, and she always, even though like when I attend the meetings, I could very easily